And yes, by the way, the hat, it's not what you think. It started off as a message to me, because I have a tendency to offer more information sometimes than I need to. And I came up with a backup to what it meant. And my backup to what it meant is save time for us. So appropriately, inappropriately, I went ahead and named my boat as such. Save time for us. And that's what my hat signifies. Not the nasty acronym that it stands for. Okay. Well, sorry. Not so funny. Well, hello my friends. Now Furtado here, the Rebel Turner. Anyway, I am back. Back for another attempt at the piece that I said I was going to give up. Why am I back with it? Well, with all the comments that I've had from you guys saying how much of a shame it was, or giving me other alternatives, or suggestions, and don't give up, and all that good stuff that really has prompted me to come back over here and say, okay, here's the deal. It's not that I cannot turn it. It's turning. The problem becomes, what do I do with the resin after the fact? Okay? Because what happens after the fact is you see that it still keeps on bleeding. And that goes throughout a lot of areas on this. So I decided, okay, there's multiple challenges with this piece. Number one, it's the veins that I wanted to maintain as being what excited me about the piece, and not the fact that it's fat wood. I've done a few pieces of fat wood, and cutting it smooth, I know that that's the option that I have, and I've been able to do that without a problem. Or at least to my standards, I think that they look fine. As a matter of fact, the mushroom that I did not too long ago was out of the fat wood, not from the same pile, but fat wood, and the resin was a lot more stable than what it is on this. This is a freshly cut dead tree, so it has a lot of, it's bleeding out still, where the other one was, it was resiny, but it was embedded into the wood. It had been there for hundreds of years. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but it had been there for a long, long time. The tree had been down for a long, long time. Part of it was a tree that I found in my backyard, buried in the woods, that I had never seen up. But yet, as I cleared land, I saw this old stump that was laying there that had actually caught on fire at one time. So it was actually torched on one side. And that piece of wood, I still can't sand it, but the cuts are clean. Nothing bleeding out other than you becoming sticky. The sawdust sticks to you, it sticks under your feet. You can make balls with it and have a snowball fight out of wood chips. This one, the dilemma that I faced with. Let me bring you in there. The thing that I'm faced with, of course, the resin pouring out, but also losing. Losing some of these wings that had dropped, that I wanted to be part of the character, are not staying there. I have been able to maintain one section that I thought was very important, but I lost a few others. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ignore of the shape that I was going with and just going to show I'm going to do another turning. I'm going to clean this up and make this into a bowl on a pedestal, go in there and tame down maybe the base some as well to make it a reasonable size, but definitely not what I had going on here. Well, I'm saying that, and then when I get to it, I change my mind again. It's like, no, it's too much of a shame to lose this. It's a shame to lose that, and I'll probably maintain its integrity as much as I can and see how I do with it, rather than me start saying, I want to take this off right off the bat, because that's not like me. The goal is to make it as nice as I can and then see what I can maintain and what I can't. So seeing that I'm going to be reshaping this, I'm going to bring some of these down somewhat to be thinner, so I'm not relying so much from coming underneath, which with this piece is posing a little bit of a problem. Now, as the lathe is spinning on this, the stuff is gushing out in blobs, and it's getting to my back. It's getting on my shield, on my monitor. It's nasty, to say the least. So the reason why I was giving up was not because of how challenging it was, but because I did not like what I was seeing out of it. So if I don't like what I'm seeing, kind of goes against what I want to do, not against whether if I can or cannot. But anyway, I'm going to give it one more honest try in here and clean some of this up, shape it up. The stem is good over here, but I might take off these wings. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to the front first, see what I get for shape, and then go accordingly to the bottom side of it. And I will try, like I said, to get most of this more or less tamed. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose a little bit of these, but not all of them. But it will make it look more finished. You can see that some of this is still loose pieces of what I was chipping away at the beginning. So let's get started and give this piece its place. See, there are a lot of pieces flying off this. So you can see that the initial idea of all these extra long wings flying out of this are going to disappear, but it will maintain some character throughout the piece. Okay, so that's as much as I dare go down on this and still maintaining some sort of uniform shape to this. Could probably come down a little bit more here and here, just taper this down and still maintain the bottom of these jags. Now, because I've shrunk this down and took a lot of this, I got a large piece of this missing base, so which I had around, but I'm not going to keep that up. You can see, I mean, can you see this? This is resin that thick going down on this vein right here. Strictly resin. All the way up here. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the foot just be in this space right here and refine this. Maybe mount this back up on my chuck. But I have to see if that's going to do it for me. I think it will. Now I'm going to lose a lot of this. But it's the sacrifice you have to make if you're going to make something work. And this is why I didn't want to finish it, is because I cannot see creating what I was envisioning right off the bat. So therefore, it forces me to modify it to something that I really did not want the piece to be. See this? I just got this flat, and you can see that what's happening over here. So when I say that, you know, I'm not going to do something, it's not because of being a quitter, and definitely not for the lack of trying. It's because there are certain extremes that you just cannot do, or you shouldn't do. And I will promise not to post another video of this sort that I know is impossible, because there will always be a lot of feedback on kind of indicating that perhaps I'm giving up on something that's doable. If I do this or if I do that. You know, it's could be doable, but it's not worth what's doable on it. It's nowhere the design that I wanted. It's just now a matter of showing still that it can be done, just not to what you want it to be. You can see how this stuff is. Everything sticks together. You know, and if I say I'm not going to do something, I'm going to quit, it's not because of being a quitter, and far from being that I didn't give it my all. Or at least give it my all to what I envisioned. And that's the key. To do turning, I mean, anything is turnable. The question is, what does it become? Does it become what you envisioned? Or does it just become another piece? And at this point, that's all this is just another piece. See what the heat will do to this wet resin that's in here without torching it. And I'll let it melt down a little bit and give it that gloss that it wants to give from the resin itself without a finish. No torching, just letting it melt, letting all the resin come up to surface and see what it does. Without hopefully without it pouring down, because it will pour down if I let it. But you can see how wet this wood becomes as soon as the heat touches it. And I know if I put it in an oven, it would eliminate all of that. But it would also create me very weak spots on all these voids that the only thing that's holding it together is the resin. So there's a lot of variables with this piece that are fighting against me. And trust me, the last thing that I would do to a piece that I was so excited over would be give up. Giving up is not in my nature. But knowing that it's not going to give me what I had envisioned, that's the route that I decided to go up on. Not the fact that, oh my God, I can't do it. I mean, I can't do it. Can't do what I envisioned. You can always do something with it. But if I'm not happy with what I create, then what's the reason? Or what's the purpose of creating stuff? And you know something? This one, when all said and done, is just going to go off to the side as a reminder for me never to post something that was not a success. It's funny because I'm saying that almost in defense, because one of the videos that has gotten the most views, as a matter of fact, the video that has gotten the most views was with a blowaway. And that's how I finished the video. And yet, this one that I just decided it wasn't going to give me what I wanted is getting more negative responses to it. And I don't mean negative. I mean in the sense that a lot of people are making me feel like, I gave up on a piece that's doable. And the only reason why I gave up on it is because I decided to quit and not explore all the options. I know what the options are, and I don't like any of them. And there it is, finished with its resinous pour outs. Whatever you think of it, if you think that it was worthy me putting it back up, and I know some of you will still look at this and say, oh my god, I like that, and I can tell you I don't like that. I don't like this because I know what I wanted, and it's not anywhere remotely close to what I wanted. But to some of you, it will satisfy you, at least to show you that yes, even if it's resiny, even if it's gushing out like this, okay, even if it's gushing out like that, you still can turn it. Do you like it? I don't like it. I mean, look at this. So if I say that I can't do something or I'm going to give up on something, it's because of crap like this. There's no need for me to be forcing myself to do something that I know I don't like the results. So I'm going to mount it in here just to clean up this base and do the same thing with the torch. I'm going to go in here, refine this base, and undermine this bottom over here so it can look presentable. Okay, that's the drawback of the resin, all the way through. Not because of what I was doing here, just if I heated this up and had this melt away, well, nothing would be holding this together. So, therefore, this is the outcome of a piece that is not workable, regardless of what you think now. I actually don't. Oh, here it is. All resin, my friends. Nothing to be done with a piece like this. It will literally glue itself back together with its own resin if that's what I wanted to do. But it will come apart again Thanks again. This is a follow-up of the failures, success, even without failures. And this was not a success because I knew. So I don't believe I learned anything with this particular fail, because I knew that, or I was pretty sure that the outcome would have been such. Thanks for watching. I apologize on this one. I really wanted that piece. I mean, I really wanted that piece. I talked about that piece when it was in the yard for months. I talked about, let's make a special trip over there and just pick it up. Because I really saw what it possessed, but not realizing that fat wood, or lighter wood, or whatever you want to call it, it's fat wood, it's fire starter. Not all is the same. In this case, I had no idea that it was going to be porous like it is. On previous turnings that I've done out of the same wood, it was stacky, and you step on the shavings and it would be all under your feet because the shavings would stick to you just like this one did. The only thing is I never had anything pouring out of the wood like I do on this one. And you saw the globs. It was not pretty, to say the least. Take care. We'll see you next time.